last 24 hours, crypto market is turning green, and our favorite coin XRP has came 9% to the upside. Now the general market is showing you green structure all the way, and we are trending higher. There are coins with a lot of different gains which are popping really good, and as we are moving high in the market, we also see we are breaking out. So getting these breakouts is especially what you are looking at, because if you are someone who look at the chart and understand, okay, this is the possibility, you are already in. Not just when the price pumps, you're not giving the attention to the market after the pump. You are giving attention to the market when the price is making a bottom, right? You look at the charts and understand, okay, the possibilities are like this, and right now, based on historical fluctuation, you can see that we are heading above a support and trying to move higher from there. For XRP precisely, if you put that into account on a monthly chart, which is the long-term perspective which you can eye at, first long-term wick here was like 38%. Here it was like 40%. Now, as of now, it's 42%. Say it's 30th of June. You just need one more day to hold on like this, and chances are higher you're going to continue higher with the next candle popping all the way up to retest of the previous high. Now that's $1.9, but remember, we will be still in a consolidation, coming back down to test the support level, which can be 0.7. Now you look at this red line which shows you the price is at this point. Fine, great. But now you can also see it was a resistance here. It was acting as a resistance all the way till here. Fine. Now extend it. Even in the last cycle, as we were coming back down, this was acting as a resistance. So when you break this one above, you would be mostly coming back to the downside to test this one and then bounce. So say for example the price is going towards $2 and then coming back down, so you are looking for a bounce. So you step in, look at a weekly chart, the price came down, it hit the moving average, say the 50-day moving average, which just had the bullish cross, the golden cross. Now if it is making a higher high above that $1.1, most likely on a weekly chart we are kind of looking at a little bit of retest and then bounce higher, so which would give you like inverse head and shoulder pattern where you're going up, coming back down and then bouncing. So you get an inverse head and shoulder. Now remember, we don't have a confirmation for that. That's the possibilities or the likeliness of how the market would be moving in next week, next month, next 3 months, right? So as we look at this on a zoomed in view, say 3-day chart, we kind of get the structure. We had the impulse to the upside, we are correcting to the downside. When we are getting back the momentum, we should also be looking at this moving average, say like this. Before the moving average crossed, we went above the moving average and retested the high here. That's the resistance zone. So if the same thing is going to happen here, we're going to break through this, we're going to retest the $2 mark. But again, we came back down to retest the previous support range, and that happens to be the moving average support too. So it would most likely be on a range of like 0.7 to $1 mark after we go above this range. Now zooming in, we get more info. Now we'll have to go through real-time charts to understand what it is showing, right? Because the market is kind of showing you different kind of green, and you kind of happen to see a lot of indicators that there is possibility or potential for you to make a gain in this market cycle. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. As we just saw, the market is turning green. On last 24 hours, we are doing great. We are bouncing back higher. On last 7 days, we kind of look at this like, okay, that's not a bad deal. XRP just did 30%, near 30%, 27.29 to be precise. And then Cardano 21, Ether 17. So that's like one of them in the high among the highest gainers in that top 10 mark. That's not a bad deal because a lot of people were kind of negative just for XRP. Now, there's a couple of charts which I shared with my patrons previously showing, we have a pattern here. The indicators are showing you this right now. So these are just stuff which you need to understand how the market is going to do. So for example, this is compound, right? We were charting that and highlighting that at that moment. So right now, if you actually jump onto the chart and look at it, it just broke out from the trend. It's right now around $320. So what we highlighted here was like when it was like 262 at the bottom just before the breakout. And indicators, now that's why we call them indicators, right? It was currently showing us it's moving higher, but just before that it showed it's a bullish checkmate, right? We are kind of moving to the upside. That's not a bad deal. So technical analysis is a tool which you can use to know the probability of what's gonna happen. It's the likeliness, it's not the certain stuff, but you get the odds on your side when you're trading that stuff. Now, as an XRP trader, how can you use the same stuff? You look at the market and the market directly shows you this is the possibility there. Because that's not only happening for one asset or one individual. In the market, there is a lot of guys who are constantly gaining value, gaining profits from what we do as a group here. So in the Patreon, there is a lot of charts being posted on a regular basis, and those who know what they see, those who know what chart shows you, those who know how to read a chart are taking benefit of this. So are you one among them? Can you read the charts? If not, don't look at the Patreon, because I'm not kind of teaching you the basics. It's you at your end who needs to put your time to learn the basics, and then when you see something like this, then you know, okay, that's a pattern which is going to break bullish 68% of the time, and the target is this. Great. And as we go higher and reach the target, I inform them we reach the target for the pattern. If you want, you can take the profits out. If you're a long-term investor, you can stay in, right? These are something which we do as a group. As we start slowing down in the bearish momentum and starting the bullishness of this wave, there's been a lot of guys which we lost in this particular downside. In the entire market, we are kind of 800,000 traders down, right? 800,000 traders being liquidated is not a small stuff. And if you are among one who never lost the money and you accumulated it, or you're kind of like, okay, I know this, the market is going to do this, great, that's perfect. But there's a lot of guys who actually needed to know where in the market cycle we are and what we are doing. And I'm happy that I was able to put that perspective for my patrons so that they understand what the market is doing. And there are individuals who, even ended up with taking some of the leverage positions, and then the market was going down. They needed to, balance it. We did that together. Now he's in a good position, and I'm really happy for him that he's right now in a good position. But that doesn't mean you should be taking leverage when in a bull market. If you are not new to this, say if you are new to this, it's really risky, and if you're just trying to put some gambling, it's fine. But if you're trying to do proper trading, investing, you need to know the basics, right? So if you don't know what you're doing, don't take leverage. At least on the other side, you're buying the asset. Even if the price goes down, it will go back up unless you buy an asset which doesn't even have a fundamental value. If the asset is having fundamental value, that's great. So now let's just jump into the charts and see what the charts are really showing us, because this is kind of really important. With the market doing this, and if you are XRP holder completely in XRP, you're going to get a lot of information to understand how to look at the charts. This is a 4-hour chart where you are looking at it like, okay, what can you learn from here? RSI just broke higher. We showed you that, right? The possibilities are increasing for XRP to get more bullish stuff in the market, because the RSI is right now showing you that it's breaking to the upside. Now look at the Bitcoin dollar. Now this is Bitcoin to dollar chart, which on a weekly is breaking to the upside. So each time you were going down, you were creating a lower high, going back down, creating a lower low, went up, but didn't create a higher high. Instead, it was a lower high. It came back down, hitting a bottom. Now you were kind of slowing down to the downside there on the side of momentum. But right now you're breaking a bow and you're trying to make a new high. So that's change in trend. So here the RSI already should. Now understand, this is the game of patience. Why? When we were entering into this consolidation, the RSI was already showing you we are trending down. We are trending down. Strength is going down from the side of buyers, right? Way before we went down. Right now the RSI is slowly showing you kind of had similar highs in the RSI. If you're breaking higher than that, chances are higher that you are slowly gonna trend back up. So as Bitcoin, now why is that important? As Bitcoin trends, the confidence in the market increases, the money flow increases. But now don't get completely bearish, bullish for Bitcoin, bullish for alts and like that, because as you look at the charts, you also have to understand, fine, that's happening with Bitcoin. So in general, if you're going to look at the Bitcoin dominance, you're kind of confused. So don't get confused. You can just, instead of looking at the small term charts, you can directly go onto a longer time frame chart and understand this. This is Bitcoin dominance, and it's kind of showing you this. It was coming to the downside, and when you see this green candle there, you need to look at, okay, where is this? Is it actually moving up or down? Because here you can consider this as the mother candle, and within that mother candle, you are right now within that candle. You haven't actually gone down, closed there, or went above and closed there. Now, yeah, in this month, there's a monthly candle and you still have a day to get that confirmation. But when you go on a daily, this is what you actually see, right? Now, why are these really important? Because when you actually go through this, you need to understand what the market is doing right now. If you look at what we do, we were already stating this to our patrons. Guys, this is what's happening in the market. Chances are BTC dominance is at the resistance and it would be going down. Now it was on June 28th, right? We did the chart and gave it to you guys. So in Patreon, when you actually see this, okay, you're getting bullish cross on a daily for Bitcoin dominance, but it's at a resistance and being rejected. That means mostly you are going to come back here, then bounce. So while you come back, alts get a lot of breathing room, they pump, they run. But when it's going to go back up, alts will be slowing down. So when you see direct green candles in your portfolio right now, and when Bitcoin starts moving a little bit higher, it would be a little bit slow, but still we would be grinding higher. Now that depends on the individual asset. Say if you are in a pair, say for example, we do XRP. So right now we're looking at XRP BTC. Now what is XRP BTC showing you? You can see this was a resistance. You broke above that. Then when you came back down, that acted as a support. So now this one, the support was even a little bit higher. So that's a higher low. So when you extend this, now that's a line which you can eye. But if you try to connect this up, no, I was actually taking a wrong tool there. So the rotated rectangle works fine here. Say this was the bottom support, fine. This was the top right here as the support. So what you can do is extend this parallel to this one, fine. Why? Then you kind of plot this one. Now, yeah, that's not the right way of doing it. You can correctly take it like this and see how it is working. So on a proper way, you can just follow the support line which you plotted and then slowly extend and see till where the support resistance zone extends. So here, this is your bottom. Here, this is your bottom. Here, this was kind of near the bottom. So now that's your range. So when you go back up, you need to actually get above this, then come back into that and bounce. That's bullish stuff. Now delete all of this and just look at the indicators. What's that showing you? You look at this, okay, you are trending on a similar page. You're not actually moving in a direction. Now here you get a proper direction, that's it's moving to the downside. The momentum is reducing. Now you kind of connect these to see what's happening. It's increasing. So this was the average range, and right now we are getting above the average range, and you have room to go until 66, 65 in the MACD, and right now you're at 40. At the bottom, in the MACD, you tried to cross to the upside once here, it got rejected, twice it got rejected, and third time you are about to cross to the upside. That's bullish news. That means you are going to retest the previous high here. So what does that mean for the price of XRP? You put that into perspective, you have like 100% to the upside to go back and retest that. It's not a bad deal, because when XRP BTC pair can rise like this, when BTC is going up, that gives you one idea what Bitcoin, when it pumps 10%, XRP can still pump 11 or 12%, which is higher than Bitcoin. So that's what you should be looking at individual assets when you have a lot of different assets in your portfolio. Now, yes, what does this show us on a macro? Because we're looking at the macro structure and we understood like, okay, fine. So this is what we can eye. There's the support range which we came into. After that was a resistance and we broke above, we came back, fine. Now we're getting long wick on a monthly candles. Great. So what does that mean on a weekly? Which is like, creating an inverse head and shoulder and breaking up higher here. Similar stuff can be made here. You're going to go back up, retest that $1.3, come back down to $0.6, $0.7 mark, and then bounce higher. If that's happening, that can take you 1 or 2 months, but still the price is trending higher. Look at this bottom and how the price is increasing. You are actually moving like this. It's like a 45-degree angle where you are trending higher. So if you are someone who just came into this market to make money the next day, I don't know what to say, but if you are an investor, if you think like an investor, act like an investor, you make money like an investor. If you know the stuff as an investor, you're going to make money like an investor. Because if you have listened to Michael Burry, the famous guy who actually got famous just by calling out the 2008 great financial crisis, he kind of highlights in his Twitter like, the buyers make money, sellers make money, pigs get slaughtered. I know it may offend a lot of guys, but that is the truth. The bulls make money, the bears make money, the pigs get slaughtered. So if you don't know what you are doing, and if you're just leveraging, that's going to wipe out your portfolio. And if you really want to do that, it's fine. If you're just here for gambling, it's great. But if you're in this market to make money, you are looking at the long-term stuff. Now, when you look at this long-term stuff, it's really easy, right? You can actually take all of this and just connect these bottoms, and you understand we are trending higher. Remember, we are doing this from the time we are at the bottom here, coming higher here, moving higher. So we are just extending this and getting the trend, and the trend itself is showing you we are going up. If you zoom in to see this is the pattern. You completed the bearish part, you completed the consolidative part, you completed the wave 1 bounce to the upside. So what's next? The wave 2 bounce, which is the biggest wave. So if you are about to make money, and if you are mentally prepared, and on a monthly you see like, okay, this was the long-term range which I had to be supported, and the price now shows that it's supporting at that range. Great deal, because the MACD shows you it still has a lot of room to the upside to move for wave 2. Remember last time when you did that was very high after the first wave to second wave, then to third wave. So that's something we can eye at, because the RSI is trending higher with higher high and higher low. So you are about to make money. But if you don't have 3 months, 6 months, a year to give in this market, that's going to be really hard for you, because you won't get the maximum benefit with minimum risk. Hope you actually understand the value of the market and how to look at the market if you have a lot of different assets. And once you have these kind of lot of different assets, and you kind of need the general idea about the Bitcoin market, the altcoin market, and a lot of different assets which you have in your portfolio to kind of balance it out to make money in most of the coins which you have, great, you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description. Now remember, don't get into that thinking it's kind of the magic box where it will give you everything without you doing anything. That's not how it works. I give you a chart, you understand that is a possibility, then you decide and trade, fine, now you make profit. But if you're someone looking at the chart and like, okay, I don't actually understand what this pattern means. Even after giving all those explanations, writing it like this is what we see. Price can break higher and continue into wave 2. So if you can understand this kind of stuff, you are welcome as a family member into the scientific investor family. Now remember, this is the last day of June, so it's better to jump on it on 1st of next month. So guys, if you receive value for your time, please do support the channel. Hit that like and subscribe button. That supports the channel a lot. So guys, thank you. Bye.